You guys are live.
All right.
Welcome to Tabletop Takeovers. I'm your Chief Gaming Officer, John Beckler. I also have joined here with, on the far end, we have the OC Geek League.
Yes, I'm the editor slash creator
Everything.
slash everything. So, and I'm
Matt
also just
Chavez.
on the staff. So, hi everybody, Matt Chavez.
And then in the middle, we're here because of these two. We have Josh Wood with Cat Lady from AEG, and then we also have an indie creator, Al Gonzalez from Cantankerous Cats.
Yes,
So
very nice.
super excited. Wish you were here at the event, but since you're not, we're glad we get you on on a stream. So.
Yeah.
I would qualify Josh as indie. He started working on this game a while ago.
All right,
by
cool.
himself.
We'll edit that. Oh no, we're live.
So yeah, we're down here at Backstreet Brewery down in Anaheim. So definitely good stuff. So just kind of want to talk to you guys about how you guys kind of got into creating board games. So we'll start with Al.
So me. Okay.
Yes.
So board games for me. Well, I actually went to school for film and graphic design. Actually, I went to college with this guy here.
Oh, very cool.
He was in the next building down. And when I mean down, I mean like a couple miles down the road. Our campus is sprawly. But I started working with IndieCade and volunteering with that event, which is a small independent game convention. Happens in Culver City in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And they introduced me to a lot of tabletop people. And I had always been trying to get independent game studios and board game designers as graphic design clients.
Nice.
And enough people looked at me and were like, well, you know this stuff really well. If you want to make a game, you should just make a game. And I'm like,
just go ahead and do it, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I don't have the budget for a video game. Like, well, just do a tabletop game.
There you go.
Here, go talk to these other people that make card games.
Very nice.
And then, yeah,
And that's
how I got into it.
That's why we're here, right?
Yeah, that's how I got into it.
Perfect. What about you, John?
So for me, I was creating board games actually when I was actually a kid. I would just make things out of paper and play with friends. And like I was the kind of the annoying kid who we'd have army men, and I'd be like, oh, what if we make a combat game and people have stats and things like that.
Nice.
And so it was natural for me to get into game design. I play a lot of games. I play. I think about 200 new games every year. So I play a lot of games every year. And so now I'm making games, and I'm making a lot of games. I'm in the middle of 6 or 7 projects right now. So, if I could, I feel like I would design 200 a year.
Right.
But
Take up a lot of time, though.
It takes up a lot of time, for sure.
Yeah.
So with that being said, it's very difficult to. For people that ask me what's your favorite game, but what's your favorite game this year then that you've played?
Oh, that's a good one.
My favorite game of 2018.
2018 that you've played so far.
Specifically a 2018 game.
Like a 2017 release, 2018 release.
I'm trying to get the clarification.
Played this year for the first time.
I mean, just so you know, I've already played 100 new games this year. I had to think about that for a second.
We're only in the beginning of June here, so.
I know Azul was really good. I really liked Tim Fowler. He's an indie guy. His new game, Now Boarding. I played that just recently. I thought that was excellent. I just went to Japan for the Tokyo Game Market. There's a game from Sashi and Sashi, Let's Make a Bus Route. That game is awesome.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it's a roll and write game where you make a bus route. It's very Japanese and interesting. And
so it's an evolution of Ticket to Ride type thing.
Yeah,
but
a little bit.
Buses.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
But really cute. I mean, Days of Wonder stuff, very, very charming. But this is very cute. Very nice, kawaii, if you will.
Al, same question. What's your favorite game you've played in the last 365 days?
Wow. This last year, I actually haven't had time to play as many games as I'd like, even though I work at a game cafe. But I think the two that stand out to me the most right now from last year are Rising Sun and Unlocked. Actually, Josh introduced me to that series.
Yeah, that's a great series.
And I was really impressed with how Space Cowboy managed to condense the escape room experience into a tiny little box.
Into a tiny box, yeah.
And I've played 4 different ones so far, and it seems that every one of those products gets you to think about the cards in a very lateral way, and as objects that are not cards.
Yeah, what's really cool about that game is that those are different designers for each of them, and so it's actually impressive, the consistency of quality for the most part between them. I mean, there's some that I'm ooh, Tonopol's Treasure is my favorite, but they're all good. I've enjoyed them all.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And for me, Actually, wait, no, was Scythe released last year too? Or was that the year prior?
That was the year prior.
Okay, but like Scythe is up there for my favorite strategy games of all time. But Rising Sun from last year, I am really impressed with because it's generally not my type of game, negotiation, like miniature combat stuff. But the tactical depth and breadth that the game has when you play with the right amount of people that are very efficient with their turns.
Yeah.
It gels really well and can go very quickly.
That's the magic of Eric Lang. I like got to like meet and like hang out with him when I was in Japan like 2 months ago, and so it was kind of fun to,
Very nice.
So we went over board games. Now let's talk. Are you guys beer drinkers? Is there a certain beer you like, or if a nice hot day and you're on the porch and you're thinking about what game you're gonna make, what kind of beer are you gonna have with that?
Yeah. So for me, I think I like sampling a whole bunch of beers. I love doing like these things like the brewery we're at where you just get to. There's like a blood orange beer in there. I'm so excited to try. I'm like,
The blood orange IPA is.
Oh man, it
That's
sounds
a
so
choice
good to
one
me. But like if you just want like one I think you can never go wrong with like a good Guinness. Like I know it's kind of a cliche, but like I just that thick like motor oil like stouts. I always have a good soft spot for those.
Especially if you get Guinness on tap, it's got that nice little, nice oily foam on top, and it's just
Exactly.
delicious. Al?
Delicious. I am definitely a stout person myself.
Oh,
I like coffee and milk stouts. I'm really bad with names because usually I walk into like a tavern or a pub or like a microbrewery and like,
Give me
here,
this
try this thing. Yeah, what do you have on tap that is dark?
What looks like motor oil? I want that.
I want that exactly.
That one.
What
Very nice.
looks like motor oil tastes like coffee. Great. Although occasionally I do like ciders, I also enjoy. There was this really interesting like prickly pear cider I had.
Okay.
Like over in LA, there's a place called Sunset Brewery.
Yeah, that's a great place.
And the ingredients list, I looked at it and it said prickly pear, basil, hibiscus,
So super
and
refreshing.
lemon.
Wow.
And I was like, this is either going to be really good or garbage.
Right.
And it was really good.
That was probably really. That had to be a refreshing beer. It was like
Oh, yeah, it
all
was like-
refreshing components.
Like, I just wanted to be out on someone's porch in the South. Like,
There you go.
Just like, I'm going to
Yes.
sip this thing. But yeah, generally, stout person. I can't think of a name for my favorite stout right now.
That's
You
okay.
know, it's just always good to like especially like on the hot days like it is today. Like I'm like, ooh, it's good that we're like able to drink some beer today.
Oh, if
Yeah.
we're
Yes.
outside, it's beautiful out here. I mean, the
Very
weather's
nice.
died down. We're waiting for a little bit more shade, but I mean, the Blood Orange IPA is good. I guess they have like a strawberry like sour right now. I
Yep,
heard
saw
it's-
that too, and
Saw
I was
that.
like,
Oh, look.
there you go.
Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that. Just pop.
Is that the one
out
that-
of nowhere?
Is that the one we were talking about? Because that would be even
It
more
is
amazing.
the Blood Orange.
Very
beer.
smart.
Blood Orange
Just
IPA.
popped in.
Yes. Very good.
Speaking of Blood Orange IPA.
Right.
Anyway, what else did you
Yeah,
have?
so since you guys are kind of like the sponsors for Caturday, I want to know if you guys can kind of tell us about the two games you have here, since you guys are the two focus games that we have for Caturday event.
Cool.
So-
Well, the story is actually very interesting with our games because we were kind of developing them at the same time.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Very cool.
I just ran into Al at the Game House Cafe, and he was like, "Oh, I'm working on this cat game," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm
You're like, me too.
working on a cat game." Like I was like, full disclosure, I want to show you my game immediately afterwards, so you know that I'm not like taking anything
Yes,
from you or
yes.
something.
Okay, cool.
But no, our games are very different, but they pair pretty well.
Okay.
Like Cantankerous Cats, me and my art director Elise Spacek, who also went to college with us.
Oh, wow.
Actually, everybody that worked on my game was, except for one person, was like a SCAD student. That's the college that we all went to. And we were it was her birthday one year, and we were just out hanging out, and we're like, well, we're graphic designers, we're doing this advertising thing. Everybody says that we should be making games. What game are we going to make?
Nice.
And
nice.
we all love cats. We've been living with cats all of our lives, and we played a bunch of different cat games. And as much as we love them, nothing ever really gelled with. It always felt like people put cats on as a window dressing, and never as like the thematic driver for what the mechanics of the game do.
Right.
So we decided that we wanted to make a game about cats being cats, and being shitty to the people that they live with, and the cats that.
It's all from experience, right?
Yeah,
All
it's all. We've been accused of making a documentary game.
There you go. I agree. I played it. It's a very nice game. Very nice game.
Yeah, because the core economy is you build affection with the human that you live with,
Right.
and then you turn around and cause as much trouble in that house as you can without
Yes.
getting kicked out.
Nice. I like it.
So as you cause trouble, you lose affection, and you're constantly maintaining this balance of like, I want to love my human, but only because it lets me get away with doing whatever the hell I want.
Yes.
in the house.
That fine line right there, right?
Yeah.
So.
We're going to bring in some visual aids right now.
Oh, hey.
Oh, yeah, there we are.
Go.
Hey.
Actually, it's the other way.
It's
Other
the
way.
other way.
Flip it.
Whoa.
There you go.
You should swap it.
Oh yeah, because
Oh.
I designed this one and Josh designed this one.
Look at that.
And we
So hopefully
we
it does
both-
not
we
block
both
in the
did
camera.
art for
We
like
have,
our
we have
game.
magic,
Yeah,
we
we
have
both-
magic hands
we-
in the
We both
in the
did the
world.
art, which is
So,
weird.
Things just randomly show up here.
Yeah. But yeah, also because of our backgrounds, my entire team for this game for artists was all people that we know from college.
Okay.
And even doing the video production, like we did a bunch of commercials and stuff for Kickstarter and just for general promotion. But we all went to film school.
Right.
And then the other half of the crew is like people that from Labyrinth Masquerade, which is an event that I got involved with here in LA.
Okay.
And they also have their hands in this as well. So it's
Very
like
nice. Very nice.
a bunch of very talented, very passionate people putting their all into one little box.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like how compact it is. You can kind of take it wherever you need to. So.
Yeah, we while we were developing it, we hike a lot.
Okay.
So I wanted something that I could like put in my
Yeah.
pack.
Just
That
travel
wasn't
size.
that wasn't just
Yeah.
like dominoes. I wanted something that was a more meaty experience because I like
Right.
playing big economy style board games.
Right.
But Elise, my partner at the time, was like, she likes very simple games that you just learn in a few minutes,
Right.
but have some depth to them. Feels like you're not wasting your time.
Right. Perfect.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, John?
So Cat Lady is a game for 2 to 4 players, and so the idea came from I wanted to make a trick taker where one of the suits were cats, and then the other ones were like food to feed the cats, and so the cats are you score points, but then you need to like balance what you get, and then I just was working on a drafting game. I didn't have a theme for it, and then. What's special about Cat Lady's drafting mechanism, instead of like having a hand of cards and taking one and passing them along, you draft from a grid of 3x3 cards. And so the act of taking 3 cards at once and like kind of getting that point where you go, like you're like, oh, I'll take this, and you're happy to get a lot of stuff, and then like towards the end of the game, you're like, I'm taking on too many cats, I'm not going to be able to feed them. It worked well, and it's a set collection game. People collect cats, but it's also something that people collect that you don't want too many of, and so it kind of fit there. And I was also in the same boat as Al. Like I kind of was like, I didn't want to make like a kittens in a blender or an exploding kittens. Like I wanted a game for cat lovers that they could love because I love animals,
Right.
and that was a big driving force. And I did the art, but I did that as just like prototype art, and then AEG was very like they were very receptive to the art. They're like, we should just use your art, and it'll be like this nice like little like story for you. And,
Very cool.
And I was like, oh no, we should like get more professional artists. Like I don't know if my art's good enough. And then they're like, well, you get paid more money. I was like, oh, I'm in.
There you go.
Let's use
Yes.
my art.
All
We
right.
should use my art. Let's use my art.
Let's forget that whole 5-minute
Let's
conversation and
let's
move
let's
forward.
go with it. Just go with it.
We're using my art.
Very nice.
I love how different both of your games are. One, we play as the cat, not trying to become feral. And then the other one, we are literally a cat lady trying to take all these cats in and
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to keep them fed.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, if we can only somehow blend these two.
Oh,
Like, mash them up.
You
Where,
know-
like, you do step 1, you're the cat lady, but then you take the role of being the cat with Al's
can
game.
make
We're
a-
taking over the
crazy,
house.
crazy.
Well, it could be like an asymmetrical 2-player game where one person's the cat lady and then one person
there we
is
go.
the cat, like trying to escape, and they're like, no, it's
No.
not
Like,
the Asian.
I think we have
There are
something
too
Yeah,
many
there.
something's
cats
going on there.
here.
Yes. You have a good idea.
But yeah, no, Elise and I both played Josh's game while we were developing Cantankerous Cats, and we were like, oh my god, this is brilliant because
Yeah.
this is.
Yeah.
People have even talked to me like, when is the human game coming? I'm like, but it already exists.
Yep.
Like our friend made it. It's
Yep.
quite good.
Yeah.
We really don't want to like mess with that. Just go.
Yeah, and
Get them both.
And Al like is like a true Renaissance man. Being able to put this
thank you.
package together, orchestrating all those things. Like for me, like I signed with a publisher because I was like, oh, you handle all the sales and stuff like that. I just want to make the game and come out to events and drink beer and play the game. And so like it's amazing to see someone like be able to handle all those
Yeah.
aspects of
Very nice.
the world. Yeah.
I do appreciate that, but I also did not do it alone. There was a team of like
Of
a
course.
dozen people.
Of course. Of course, but
Dozen very generous people.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with going with the generous people. I mean, I have a lot on my team, and I wouldn't be able to do this all without them either. So I completely agree. Really appreciate both of you guys coming out.
Definitely.
I'm hoping you have a good time. I know Al's been to one of our events before. Josh, this is your first one. I hope you're having a good time.
It's awesome.
So,
Yeah, what do you guys think about the event so far?
I'm loving it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's super cute. Really, this very chill vibe. Last time I came out, everybody was super friendly. Everybody's super friendly again.
Yes.
So not
Good to hear.
disappointed. And yeah, it's good to be out having everybody play fun games.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, my favorite thing about being a game designer is actually meeting people, and it's especially nice that I made a game that I felt like was for cat ladies, and it's so great when people who are fans of cats come and they go like, wow, like this
Yeah.
game was designed for me.
Nice.
And that's such a great feeling. That's such a great feeling.
Yeah.
definitely.
All right,
I
so
think we're ending with meows, aren't we?
I think we are. So since it is Caturday, we want to hear you guys' best. Oh, we still have 15 minutes.
Oh, we've got a lot of
15
time.
minutes?
Got lots of time
Well,
to
let's-
talk about.
We're starting photos right now.
Oh, let's,
Oh,
Oh, just starting
Oh.
first.
so this
Wow.
means you need to actually pose and stuff now, right? Like,
okay.
So that's Chloe. If
should I
anyone,
let my hair down?
Yes,
'Cause,
she's
like,
probably
that
tabletop
is the
takeover
voice.
James.
I thought
Chloe.
some people were rambling on a bit much.
I was trying to fill time. I'm sorry.
Oh, we have
So-
15 more minutes.
15
Oh, yeah.
minutes. Okay,
Apparently
let me
we
talk
didn't
We
fill
talked
it
a lot.
up. Yes.
We talked a lot though already. I mean,
Let me tell you
We
about
did,
the other
we did.
98 games I played this year.
Oh, there we go. Okay, that'll take up most of the time. So
About what?
Extra
Life.
Yeah, we
Life,
definitely
yes.
need to plug Extra Life
we
for
should
being
definitely
here.
talk about them.
So
yeah, we have Extra Life is here today. So they partner with Tabletop Takeovers with
Yes.
us to we're raising money for Children's Miracle Hospitals, and the local one would be Chalk Children's Hospital Orange County, which is I think
yeah, it's not too far from
2
here.
miles
yeah,
from here.
Yeah, very
so,
close.
Yeah, a lot of our proceeds go to that. So that's seriously what we're about with Tabletop Takers: having a good time, pouring beers, playing games, and giving back. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know if it matters with Facebook, but we are like here at the event. If you do manage to make it out, we're running a silent auction too, where you can get both of our games. I made a fancy hardwood box.
Yes.
It's like a one-of-a-kind
It's
thing,
amazing.
and we'll be donating all the proceeds from that to Extra Life. But for the folks that can't,
Mine comes in a regular, boring box.
it is not a boring. It is bigger than the box I have. It is more substantial. But for those that can't join us today, I do have a promo code to use on cantankerouscats.net. So if you use the code ExtraLifeOC, it won't give you a discount, but it will flag that order for us, and we're going to be putting 10% of every game that we sell using that code, and we'll be donating it to Extra Life OC.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
That's
and,
awesome.
and that promo
Yeah.
will be running until the end of Friday next week.
Okay,
So,
very cool.
That's awesome.
And
That's
I
great.
heard, I heard there might also be a special edition for Cat Lady. is that correct?
Do you mean today or just in the future? Because in the
Is it
future,
today, I believe. Well, yeah, just
Oh.
tell us what the
It's
future
going
plans
along
are.
with the silent auction.
It is.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a
We do have
silent
one
action.
silent action, yes.
It's not a special edition. It's just the base thing. But I'll definitely
we'll
sign it and I'll
Yeah.
I'll draw a picture inside of it and whatnot and,
Oh, awesome.
and do all that fun stuff.
Oh, more original art.
So
It's awesome.
so it is special
Yes.
in that way.
Very nice.
But yeah, we don't. There might be a special edition of Cat Lady coming. There might be expansions. We don't know. That's still like obviously stuff that's in the works.
And then anything with Cantankerous Cats?
Yeah, we're working on 2 expansions.
Two
actually.
expansions,
So
cool.
one I actually have in my bag.
Uh-huh.
It's something that we promised at Kickstarter, and I just haven't had, with all the time of trying to juggle being an indie. I am now a publishing company, so that's that is something to get used to.
Very nice.
The dog expansion is something that we're going to be adding a new character to the game and new mechanics. The dog is basically like the chaos generator of the
Oh,
game. So
cool,
all he does
cool.
is scoop up all the affection.
Ah.
And it is the dog. There's only one dog in the game.
Uh-huh.
Because the joke is that all dogs look the same to these cats. They don't care.
I like that.
And
I
everybody
like that.
picks on him. So the dog's goal is just to get 9 affection.
Nice,
And as soon
nice.
as it does that, the game is over. There is no polite waiting like there is for your cat.
Interesting. Okay.
But it's really difficult to get there because when you pull all the affection out of the game, you become the biggest target. So everybody
Wow.
is constantly trying to swat at you.
That's true.
And
That's
manage the dog. And the game changes very differently, where it becomes a one versus many in a way.
Right.
Where the cats are kind of like taking turns managing the dog, but at the same time wanting to win. Versus everybody just kind of free for all to themselves.
Very nice. Very nice.
And then the second expansion that we're working on, which is what we've given a priority this year, is the kitten expansion.
Okay.
And that's in response to the first holiday season. We got a we got a serious crash course in what it's like to go through Christmas.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah. So a good like 20 to 25% of our audience that was buying the game definitely had some dissatisfaction with the complexity.
Okay.
So while we love it and the people and the gamers in our crowd love it, it's still a little too meaty for the people that really want the theme.
Okay.
So we made a simplified rule set, which we're featuring here today.
Yes.
The kitten rules.
I love the kitten rules.
And in order to get that out into the wild, we're making a 12-card expansion pack
Nice.
focusing on all the cute and mischievous things that kittens do.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
I've got illustrators working on that right now, so
Very
we're
cool.
hopefully going to be released that in time for Christmas.
Awesome. That'll be really cool.
So that's what's going
Very
on
nice.
with Cantankerous Cats.
Nice.
I did think it's something I can actually announce for Cat Lady. I'm doing solo rules for it, so
Oh, okay.
soon
Nice.
Okay.
You'll be able to play as the rules will actually state with your cat. So you can actually play
Yeah.
against your cat and try to beat your cat at Cat Lady. So
Nice.
That could be pretty interesting.
For us? Oh yeah. That's I'll try and give a short answer because I don't want to bogart all the time. But the short version is we shopped around for publishers, and nobody would give us the control that we want over our IP. So we're all pretty business savvy because we come from the entertainment industry, and that's what we all grew up with.
Right.
So the one thing we didn't want to do was let a publisher come in and dictate to us how this game was going to be released and how it was going to be promoted,
Right.
and what we could do with it.
Right.
And in order for us to maintain control over that, we just needed to self-publish. So we figured we had enough people, word of mouth, even though it was our first game, to show that like we were serious about working on the game. We did all of the art by ourselves. We recorded and shot all the promotional material and budgeted all that out.
Wow.
And we wouldn't have been able to do that if we had a publisher.
Right.
And one of the things that people compliment us on the most is the production quality of the game, the meticulous draftsmanship in the art, and all of the video content that we produced for the game is all fully costumed, acted by real people. Nothing's animated.
Nice.
And we take a lot of pride in that.
Very cool.
And we're hoping to keep that as we do the expansions and other games. We want to maintain that type of quality.
Right.
And that's why Kickstarter. That's why self-publishing.
Awesome. Awesome.
So I got a good question for you guys. So both of your games, Josh, you did a lot of your own artwork. Al, you had a lot to say with your artwork and a big hand in that artwork. What's your favorite card in each of your games?
Ooh, good question.
question. So for me, since there's so many cats and cat names, one of my favorite things was I got to name a bunch of cats, and then I have a lot of personal favorites. So I'm a big fan of LeVar Burton. It's one of my favorites.
Okay.
I know it's a silly pun, but I like it because LeVar Burton rather, is the host of Reading Rainbow, and so he rewards you points for like rainbow cats. I just for some reason that is very happy. That makes me very happy. And then obviously I have my 3 like childhood cats in there, so I want to like say that, like I'm
Excellent.
glad that I got to put them in the game. But man, I want to make an expansion mostly just so I can name more cats. I keep thinking of like cool names for cats that are just like very cute, and I'm like, oh, that's the perfect name for a cat.
You just take your set at home and crossing out the old names and putting the new names
There you
on
go.
there. Like,
Yeah. In fact, I'm at the point where I'm thinking about just getting 10 cats, just 10 real cats, so I can just name them.
There you go. There you go.
It's kind of bad.
Do it.
That's
Do
the
it.
But will
problem.
you have the food to feed them all?
I will not.
make believe food. Just give them some blue,
Yeah.
white, and red. There you go.
And
There
don't
you
forget,
go.
toy variety, the spice of a cat's life.
Yep. The toy variety.
That's actually another mechanic in your game I really enjoy is the set collection, because like my cat in particular is super. He just disinterested in toys like 5 minutes after we give them to him.
Yeah.
And
You had to keep
like-
like getting new toys if you want them to like toys. Yeah.
yep, like
Man.
that old that mouse that you got yesterday. No, doesn't.
People
not
get
interested.
dogs a lot of toys, but dogs like have that one that they like, right?
Yeah.
But like cats just like, and then it'll be like weird. Cats will just like randomly like be walking around, and then they'll all of a sudden like play with a toy that they haven't touched in like 6 months, and you're like, Oh, I guess that's why we keep these around. I guess that's why I trip on
Yep.
them.
Yeah, our old cat, like, but get them something, and all of a sudden you take it out of the bag, and they play with the bag instead of just playing with the toys. So it's like, they just play with random stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
all the time.
Oh yeah.
So
Nice.
And Al,
Yeah.
favorite card.
favorite card.
Oh, good God.
I know my favorite card in yours, but I want to hear yours.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of really good cards in there.
God, the artist Elise is freaking brilliant for illustration, so it's hard to pick.
Oh, we got a chopper. I don't know if we're picking that
And
up.
the other artists too, Jose and Heather both. Like everybody just did such an amazing freaking job. But I think currently my favorite is Feeding Frenzy.
Okay,
I like it
alright.
so much that we're thinking about putting it on the 3rd edition of the box. And it is. I don't have a thing to like hold up for the camera,
Yeah.
but it's like this, just the jubilation and the joy and the chaos in that particular image kind of like says everything about the game.
All right.
And it had the most hands on it. So it was like, Heather went ahead and came in and did like the rough pencils for it. And then Elise cleaned it up a little bit, and then I took it and I cleaned it up a little bit. And then she went ahead and did the final paints on it. So there's a little bit of almost the entire team in that piece. And you can tell because it says everything you need to know about the game in one picture.
Very cool. All right.
My favorite card is the yellow sheets.
Yeah,
They needed some decoration, or I forget how the actual phrase
That's
goes.
one of Jose's paintings.
Yeah,
That is,
that's one of my favorite cards.
Yeah, we actually had to dial that one back because when he gave it to us at first, it was a little too real. It's like the most mundane thing in the game because it's just sheets and a color yellow.
All right, guys, we're getting the checkered flag.
Okay.
No, we have a question.
Another question.
Oh,
How
question.
many cats are too many cats?
Oh, that's a good question.
My hard and fast rule that I got from some good friends is when the cats outnumber people in the house, that is generally too many.
Yeah, I can see that.
As much as I love them, it's harder to take care of them when you don't have enough time to give them attention.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those islands in Japan where they get off and there's like the 80 cats from up to the boat?
Yes.
Like that's too many.
Too many cats.
Isn't it two a couple, three's a party? Like,
Yeah, so for me,
do we have to discriminate with cats too? Like, it
Yeah.
just becomes more fun as a party.
yeah, so for me, I think as long as you can take care of the cats,
Yeah.
there's not too many. Like while I was working on the game, I went to Ernest Hemingway's house, and he had like 40 cats, he's got 40 cats in the property, and he owned a whole bunch of cats, and all his are like those like 6-toed cats, and I don't know if you can take care of them. I say have as many cats as you like. That's my hard and fast rule.
That's a
That's
good
true.
one.
What's
but
the most cats you've seen taken care of in your cat lady game?
Like someone's been able to feed them,
Feed all of them.
like 12,
Yeah.
14 maybe.
I think
I've
I
seen
had-
somewhere in there.
Little trophy, like, here you go.
Right?
Yeah.
I think I had 10 the first time I played your game.
Yeah.
Didn't I? Like something like
Wow.
that.
10 is like that thing where you're like, if you feed 10, you're like, wow, I got 10. And then some people can like push that just a little bit,
Yeah.
and it's impressive. Anytime
man.
sometimes people just like get so many cats, I'm like, you're not going to be able to feed
Yeah.
that.
Right,
And then they
right.
somehow do, and I'm like, all right. I had a hard time in my last game. I just played feeding my 4 cats. And
Well, also like I had no toys though. So
Yeah,
even though I could feed those cats, life was very
it's a
boring.
balance, right? Like you can
Right.
sometimes get more cats, but then it's like, and if you get a lot of cats, you focus on getting like a catnip strategy. If you go fewer cats, you just make sure they're really happy with toys and like
Right.
costumes.
Yeah.
People love the costume cards. That's usually, I'd say that's the fan favorite of the cat art. People love the cats because they look so unhappy in their costumes.
If you put some clothes on them, they're all good with their costumes. So.
Yeah.
like, yep.
All right.
All right, so I guess we're wrapping up. We're
yeah.
in the checkered flag. Let's make sure we give a little quick thank you announcements. We're at Backstreet Brewery, so thank you for having us.
Yes.
We have tacos from Nick's Barbecue. This equipment's brought to you by the Grand Geek Gathering, so thank you so much for having us. And then we also have a bunch of people in attendance. We got, if you haven't come down, if you're local,
Yep.
come on down. We still have some tickets, but Geek Say What, Grand Geek Gathering, D20 Adventure Realm, OC Geekly,
OC
Extra
Geekly,
Life,
Yep. Got a lot of people
OC
in here.
Weekly,
so.
or OC Geekly.
OC Geekly.
And we have the 2 creators, of course.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I'm glad
So-
you guys
Thank
were
you.
checking in. Hopefully we get
Yeah, and I should probably also say if you don't mind, like my distributor Breaking Games, I couldn't have done it without them either, because like that was a huge having support, even as an indie publisher, you want to get connected with the right people that believe in your product.
Shout out to Breaking
Definitely.
Games, Sparkle Kid.
And thanks to AG.
All right, everybody, what's your favorite cat? Go. What's your favorite kind of cat?
Oh man.
Oh, before we do that, yeah, big thank you to AEG for the
AEG.
proc support as well.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I'll thank AEG for
John
supporting
Z,
my friends.
thank you, Z.
So, favorite cat.
So
that's a hard one.
I'm a calico person.
Okay.
Oh, and then any polydactyl, like the six-toed cats. I really love those guys.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I am a big fan of savannas.
Yeah.
I like giant cats.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I'm a big Maine Coon fan.
Yeah, Maine
Maine
Coons are also
Coons
great.
are really awesome.
My cat is not giant, but I still love him to pieces.
nice.
And I'm also a polydactyl fan, so whenever I see a cat with thumbs,
Yeah.
especially when they learn how to use them, it's like, oh man,
Like, that's
you're
awesome.
asking for trouble.
Matt, do you have any cats?
I don't, but we used to have a Himalayan. So,
Oh,
and then it was a really nice cat. So,
We have 3 cats. We have a Night Fury. So
Oh.
we have our black cat.
There you go.
So, gentle when you're home, but then when you go to sleep,
yep.
tearing
It's the terror.
everything
Yep.
up. So, but yeah, I think this is going to be a wrap. We're going to check flag. We'll be on at what time? Oh, trick question for the
5:30.
5:30.
5:30 is our next one.
5:30. Thanks for checking in.
Awesome.
Come on down. We'll be here for a while.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys.
Hi, everybody.